Oh,
I did it.
I'm sure that's the actual way to do it.
Good morning. We are going to tackle the plumbing today. Try to get all our fuel systems handled, the cooling systems handled.
By the way, Brad's here.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to the Hoonigan Tea Powder Chocolate Bar. Free with any purchase of $10 or more while supplies last. Chomp chomp.
On today's Ute list, number 1, suspenders. Check. Number 2, we're gonna eliminate all the useless junk. Some stuff in the engine bay we don't need. Number 3, show you how to make some fuel lines. 4, we're gonna add the fuel pressure regulator. And 5, we're gonna end with a ramp. Let's get started. First, we're gonna check out the engine bay and see if there's anything we can eliminate, get out of the way. Brad, is there anything you see?
I think we're gonna decide that we don't like this. We don't need cruise
Why
control,
would we
so
need
we're
cruise
gonna do a direct throttle cable to the pedal.
And as you guys remember, this was swapped firewalls. So we're gonna make a new line eventually. So we'll just eliminate this crap. We don't need it.
And that gives us a fantastic location for our fuel pressure regulator.
Right.
So we're basically replacing one for another, and then we're gonna plumb all our fuel lines to our fuel regulator, back to our factory fuel lines.
What else? Anything? Nah, not right now. I think that's all we need right now. So we've eliminated all this stupid stuff that we don't need. Cleared us up kind of a nice spot here. Brad made us up a template. What I'm gonna do is put that down in there for the fuel pressure regulator, something to mount it to. Should fit pretty good.
Yep.
Brad's gonna start cracking away on these lines, but we're gonna show you how to do it, right, Brad?
Absolutely.
So what we're gonna do right now is just basically clean this up and then trace out what we want. I'm just gonna make it look a little bit cleaner. We don't need all this excess material. We're just gonna cut this bad boy out, drill some holes, have a bracket. You don't wanna use an angle grinder to cut aluminum. That's all we have right now, so we're doing it, but a bandsaw or something else would be a little bit better, because that's pretty dangerous with those blades, they'll explode.
His name is Dan, he's the man with the man got suspenders on, yeah. What you making over here?
Quick little bracket, just something nice, tidy it up. Aluminum, lightweight, out of the way. So fuel pressure regulator go right here. Bolted in the factory spot for the crap that we didn't need. So.
You're not gonna polish that or what?
No, I don't need to polish it. Look at that.
Oh, what?
Plastic on, yeah.
Damn, all right.
Clean it up a little bit.
Okay, I see you, Dan.
There's always a plan. Zach, always a plan. We're talking about Zach's hands being a little bit soft, and this is the rough side of the garage here. Yeah, we got some stuff going on.
Good for scratching backs.
All right, it's getting too weird. We're gonna get back to work.
Dan did this bitchin' bracket. Slides right on here. So that way we can start plumbing all of our lines to here, and then from there back to the original fuel lines.
Oh, and also Brad found this line that was pre-made.
This is a very nice line, but we're gonna change it to black so it remains looking like all this.
Want it to look good. So we're gonna start making lines. Brad's probably gonna make them because he's antsy just to make something anyway. We had this one that was already pre-made, but we're gonna remake that, show you how to do it. You're gonna need a super sharp blade. This stuff is really nice. Now with this stuff, you can use an angle grinder cutoff wheel or something else. What we wanna do is tape it off so it doesn't fray. Get a nice cut, good and even.
Make sure you pull on your tape like extra tight like that, and it makes it easier for when you put these on. And see how easy it slides in?
And then you'll have to get this little knurl in there as well. So peel that back.
So now it's flush with this.
Yep.
And you're good. You can pull this up to there. Put this in here.
And we'll get a couple of nice pliers to put that on there nice. I like to put it in a bench vise sometimes, just to make it a little bit easier. When these two come together, I usually leave about a 1/16 inch. So yeah, you can see that there. Pretty little gap there, just like a fingernail's width. Good stuff, other side.
Dude, look at how nasty my fingers are.
Yeah, there's a real close zoom on how weird and grubby your fingers are, but I think that's kind of our job here, bud. What's up, Zach?
What up, though? What you doing?
Making lines. How you like it, Brad?
Hey, it looks a lot better than the metal one.
What do you think, Zach?
Well, is that functional?
Yeah, it's functional. Fuel's gonna go through it.
Cool. Does a stock LS use a returnless system?
Later models did, and then they went back to it. The return is constantly allowing fuel to go through, which is cooling the pump.
So we're gonna go from here to fuel pressure regulator now.
Yes, sir.
We need to hook that bad boy up.
What kind of fuel pressure are you gonna be running?
I think we'll probably set it up at about 43 psi, but it varies on vacuum.
You don't have to like up that with the nitrous flow, or is there like a secondary line that like is there
This is dry shot.
This is a dry
So we're
shot.
not gonna have to run any of that.
Yeah, so basically the computer is gonna tell the injectors to give more fuel.
Oh, cool.
As soon as you push the button, the computer is gonna say, all right, we've got X amount of nitrous, we're going to give that much more fuel.
What? Good luck, guys.
See ya. So update on what we decided here. We're gonna run the fuel routing a little bit different. We have the return line here coming out from the firewall. There's a feed line here. So we're gonna run the feed up to the front here, and then we're gonna run right out through there to the regulator. We're gonna run this loop that was made for the front in the back, just so it looks clean, nice and easy to work on. Well,
That's pretty much it.
pretty much have all 3 lines here. So we have our first line assembled here for the feed. We have a return line, which is a -6, going back to the regulator, and then we have the final line here.
All right, so we're putting these fittings on. These are for pressure in and return out. And then we're gonna leave this guy right here for, this is a transducer. Transducer, all it is a spring that pushes power to here to tell the computer what fuel pressure we're at. Our transducer is gonna go right back here, just like this. And basically our fuel system is done.
Fuel system will be done. All right, so I drew out a board because it's kind of hard to see in the engine bay what actually happened. So if you imagine this as the fuel cell in the back, we have 3 lines coming out. There's a fuel feed, fuel return, and then also a vent. You determine which one is what. Usually it's labeled on there, or you can check factory service manual, whatever. So we took the fuel feed line all the way up into the fuel rail, and then it was looped into the next fuel rail out to this side of the fuel pressure regulator. And then there's a T section here, so this goes down to a fuel return, and the return line goes all the way back to the fuel cell. And we use the other one to put the gauge so we can read it. And then we have a vacuum source that will go to the intake manifold, and then we have the adjustment screw on top to adjust the fuel pressure on the fly. Also on there, which I did not note, we have the one that is going to be read on the dash. If you want to understand it a little bit better of how we did it, pause it, take a look. Should make sense for you. If you don't have a V8, you're gonna have just one fuel rail. If it's like an inline 6 or 4-cylinder, which is a lot of you guys would be running, gotta keep it even. So I don't like these stupid heater hoses. We don't need it. Taking it out, make it look a little cleaner. We don't need a heater in there. We're in California. Who cares? We might need to get a new radiator. So we're gonna be doing long burnouts. The last thing on the list is a rant.
Put you here. Need to address.
He's still talking about LS engines. I'm going home.
What do I do? This is 2-part bad, so I spilt water all over my phone. And I didn't bring a hat to work today. So now I'm gonna have to do another goddamn daily transmission episode without a hat.
Dang, you just got blessed by cacao?
Why do we have this? It's Southern California.
I gotta go.
Hey man, let's go check out this Ute, all right?
Crop out my hairline, man.
All right,
Just
here,
crop it up.
Basically, the eyebrows are the top of the frame. So
Oh,
just,
sick, yeah.
Just don't. Oh no. What do we got here?
Oh, hey, boys.
Hey! What the fuck is going on?
I think it's time that we discuss this livery.
So, wait, so you guys want to pull the flames off?
We're gonna pull the flames off.
That's what's happening?
We need you guys to wreck it. Get a record.
We're the wrecking crew? You're gonna put them on Kyle's van?
Whoa.
Vinny does this side, I do that side. We'll see.
Let's compare. All right, Vin. You got a chance at redemption. One of these. Yeah, there you go, Vin. Oh, nice. No big deal.
Bad Daddy!
Did you guys use a knife to take this off?
Knife?
The driver's side's the only one that matters, too. Well, we gotta swap it back to right-hand drive.
Spicy flames.
Looks like a trident.
It's like Phoenix from X-Men. That's what I'm gonna call this. Hopefully that helped you guys progress in your new progress. Good luck and have fun.
Thanks, Herc.
Can't wait to see this thing do things that it's supposed to do.
I think it looks better.
And not seeming things. Well, this side looks better.
Yeah, that side looks.
Nice work.
That's not a wrap. All right, now that the wrecking team is gone, it's back to Brad and myself. Looks pretty good now. I like that. And this also looks better. Brad, what are you doing?
Basically just checking systems, making sure both our fans are
Fans
turning
work?
on, fans are turning on.
Let's be honest, this thing's gonna get real hot real fast.
It's definitely not hurt proof.
We also just put on some new clamps and a couple new hoses for the plumbing. We're gonna cap this off. We took the heater core out. Well, the heater core is still in it, but we took all the lines going out to it. Maybe we'll take the heater core out later, unless we do want it in the future, but I doubt it because it's beautiful California and we don't need the heater. Found a few more things missing. We gotta do the brake booster, put that in the back of the intake manifold. Gotta get a 90-degree fitting on the back, so that will run in there and we can have brakes. Otherwise, you're gonna have a really strange feeling when you hit the pedal and nothing happens. Just a few little things. And then Brad's gonna wire them all up and we're gonna get the shredding. So Brad went ahead and checked to see if the pump was working, which is located right in there, and the pump would not turn over. We pulled the pump out, and now Brad is going to replace that with one we got from Holly, and we'll see how's it going, Brad?
Fighting this stupid plastic thing off the bottom.
Did you do your hand there? Oh, you look good.
It's old man skin.
Oh, yeah.
You get old and this shit just tears like paper.
Somebody's gonna tell us the right way to do this.
Eventually.
There's a 2-second DIY on how to get that out.
Oh,
I did it.
I'm sure that's the actual way to do it. Is this in the FSM?
Yeah. Oh, dude, look at that clean filter we got going on there. Aren't you glad we took care of that?
You know what? I think we got one more try because I think there's one still left in the GTO.
Oh, yeah.
I like Brad's really unorthodox way of swapping a fuel pump.
Also, like, guys, do you have like a nice bench over there that you can work on, but doing it on like the floor?
We didn't want to
just-
stink up the shop with fuel.
Yeah, dude, this fuel reeks, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty old.
Oh, it's old.
That's the install right there.
Yeah, get that fuel filter real nice and dirty.
Alright, let's clean up this.
Didn't need a new one for no reason. And that's how you install a fuel pump in a Ute.
Heck, not really, but if you want to use this as a DIY, go for it. Not liable for how your car runs.
Only some of this show is educational. This is not the right way, I'm sure. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna put this new fuel pump in.
Are there any major pointers when you're putting a fuel pump in?
Yeah, open your garage door.
Don't smoke while you're doing this.
Yeah.
Try not to, because you don't want to ash into your fuel tank. I mean, that's just,
It's just bad for fuel quality.
it's a no-brainer, you know?
That's that. Well, we changed the look of it. Brad got some of the wiring done. Changed out the fuel pump. Just simple basic wiring stuff. And we want to check the fuel pressure. Probably do that tomorrow. We got to go get some fuel. So Brian comes in. We'll see what he says about the flames. He might be mad about that. But that was Hert's idea, if y'all recall. Or I guess we did it. That's where we're at for tomorrow. Looks sick now. I like it.
Sick, it doesn't look like shit anymore.
Good, because I like it.
It looks
I think
way
looks
better
super
like
cool,
this.
Super clean.
Ooh. What'd you guys do? Oh, you
We going to work?
Alright,
Let's do something.
see you boys. Thanks for the delivery on the out here.
That's the fastest that car's ever been. All right, to catch you up to speed on what we've done so far, we did the fuel system, made all new lines, put in the fuel pressure regulator and gauges. We put in a new fuel pump because the old one wasn't working. And Brad did a little bit of wiring for the fans, the fuel pump, and the starter. So today, we're going to do some power steering, get that all buttoned up. We're gonna check the fuel system for leaks. And Brad's sitting in the car right now downloading version 4 for the new Holley performance stuff that we can get this car started. As you can see, like this line right here, this is where the high pressure power steering line is. Look at how close this is to the header. If this has any kind of leak, it's gonna spray the fluid on here, and it is flammable fluid that will catch fire, and it's pretty hard to put out. Like you can use damn near a whole fire extinguisher like I did on Ken's car.
Fire again! Fire again!
Fire right down.
To the rescue.
It's still going. I also want to use a pipe cutter because I don't want any metal shavings going back down in there. So we're gonna replace this fitting here with a -6. So we have all AN line.
So you're just using that line to measure?
Pretty much just making a tube length. I don't want it to kink up. How's the tuner coming?
5 minutes, 5 seconds remaining.
He's just in there on Plenty of Fish. He's not actually doing any tuning.
This is tuning, okay? Plenty of Fish with the computer on the thing. Is it bad when you see your parents on Plenty of Fish?
Oh shit. Maybe if you closed some of the other apps, it might go a little quicker. Alright, so I had Bad Daddy run out and grab some stuff for the power steering. Basically I have like a compression fitting. So I cut off the factory line. I'm gonna put this bad boy on and seal up all the high pressure line stuff. Pretty nice. And we got some vacuum hoses. Alright, so got the new power steering line made up. Both -6 AN, really easy to take care of. Brad had to leave for vacation, so I think we're pretty good for the day. 1, 2, 3! That's a wrap! You guys suck. That's a wrap!
Whoa, we still good.